has given you everything that you need to feel prepared to bring your son or daughter to school. Now at this point, I have the great pleasure of handing you now to the school team, because our work in getting you and your child here is done. You'll hear from my team again in February, when we'll be talking about next year's accommodation, if your child is staying for another year, maybe for 2 more years, and we'll talk about that together at that point. But for now, from my team, we have done our part in getting you here, and it's the school teams that will be taking care of you. So who am I passing over to?
Over to me.
To Helen for boarding. Thank you.
Hello, it is so lovely to see you all. It's wonderful. So often we don't actually get to meet the parents, so it's lovely that you've all been able to come, and it's my privilege to talk to you today. Now, boarding is obviously a massive thing for your children. Probably the first time that they have moved away from home, and probably the first time they've spent a long period of time in the UK. So I thought I would tell you a little bit about what life will be like for them on a day-to-day basis. So when you're thinking of them when you're back at home, you can think, I know what they'll be doing right now, and you'll know that they're safe. So an average school day. They'll get up in the morning. Those of them that struggle, because we are talking about teenagers, those of them that sometimes struggle to get up in the morning, we will help. We'll knock on the doors, we'll go back and knock on the door again and say, come on, it's time to get up now, you need to get yourself ready for school. They'll all come to the dining room and they'll have breakfast together. And there's lots of different options. So there should be something for everyone. It's really important, obviously, that they start the day wide awake, with a full tummy, and ready to go. They then might need to pop back to their boarding house to collect some books or anything else that they need, and then they're off for the school day. Now, one thing that some of the students don't like, but that we do, because I think it's important, is once the school day starts, they can't go back to the boarding house during the day. So the reason that I push for this and make that a rule is because I'm trying to help prepare them for the future. I want them to get used to thinking, I've got to be organised, I've got to get everything ready, I'm leaving for work today. That's the first reason. The second reason is that especially at the beginning, students that are feeling a bit nervous, it can be really easy to say, I'm just going to go and sit in my room for a bit. And they would hide away in their room and sit by themselves. Whereas if I say, yeah, you're not allowed back in, they are pushed to spend time together, to make friends, to meet new people. So it helps them settle in, because it makes them come out of their rooms and join in. So that's what they do during the day, and then Carolyn will talk to you more about the school day. At the end of the school day, they'll go back to their boarding houses, they'll sign in so that we know that they are back and that they are safe, and then they have a little bit of free time. A little bit of time to relax after school. If they're a younger student, then they can sign out with another couple of students to pop to the shop if they want to, and just have a little bit of a relax after a heavy day of study. They'll then have their evening meal, and then again for the younger students, they have a protected period of time to do their homework. So those students that are very good at organising themselves, very good at getting their homework done, and are confident to do it, they can do it in their bedrooms. And we have, for the younger students up to the age of 16, they'll have their door open, they'll be working away in their room, and the boarding team will just go around and just have a little check, make sure that they're okay and they are getting on with it. There are some students that might struggle a little bit to start with, and they might need a bit of extra help. Maybe they're struggling a little bit more with their English. Maybe they just need to be around adults a little bit more. Those students we bring down to the common room, and the boarding team will stay with them and help them with their homework. Make sure that they're feeling confident with it. Now there might be clubs as well, activities they can get involved with, things that they want to join in the evenings. The older students, go out again if they wish, as long as they're with another person. They sign out so we know where they're going, what time they've left, and of course they all have to be back in time for their curfew, a sensible hour during the week. Then they're all in the boarding house. We have things like hot chocolates and toast, and the boarding staff are all around, just checking in with them, seeing how their day was, making sure that there's no problems, and then they go off to bed. And every student, a boarding staff member, will knock on that door right before bedtime, just say, "You okay? Everything all right for you? Ready for bed? Night, we'll see you in the morning." It's important to us that every individual student gets those moments during the day where it's just them and the house parents, so they've got time to ask questions or talk if they need to. And of course we're making sure that they're safe. If there are any problems overnight, the boarding staff are in the boarding house. They are available all of the time, 24 hours a day. All of the students, all of your children will have phone numbers for the house parents in their phones already, and an emergency number. They can ring them day or night. It might be that they're just feeling a bit homesick and they want somebody to talk to. Maybe they've got a bit of a headache and they want a bit of help with that. They can call the boarding team any time, and please encourage them to do it. So often students will just say, "Oh, I'll be okay, I'll be all right, I don't want to disturb people." And I say to your children, that's what we're for. You need to tell us, we want to help you. So they will be asleep or getting help if they want through the evening, and then the next day goes on. Now at the weekends, of course, they're going to be doing some homework. They all want to become doctors and all these fabulous things, so they will be spending time doing some homework. But of course they need to relax as well. They need to have a good time, they need to experience new things. Every minute of the day over the weekend there is a different club running. So they could go to lots of different events. They could do football in the morning, dance in the afternoon, go to debating club in the evening. They might be into golf or horse riding or dance. We put on an awful lot of clubs over the weekend and different events for them to get involved with. I don't want any of the students to feel like I'm just sitting here, I've got nothing to do. I want their experience to be really rich and full of things new to them and things that they've enjoyed in the past and want to continue. So there's lots going on at the weekends. We also plan events, so we are taking all of the new students, we might be crazy, we're taking all of the new students to the Thorpe Park. It's a big theme park on Friday. So we all get on the buses with them, all the boarding team, some of the staff, and we all go down there. The reason we do this is, one, it's a big old welcome to the UK and an end to quite a long week for them. But B, it's really important that they start having fun and doing things together so that they've got a shared history, a shared memory. It helps break down cultures and language differences. If you're on a roller coaster, all you're doing is smiling at the person next to you and going, "Woo!" and you share that together. You don't need words. So we build this sort of thing all the time for them. We want them to be really happy and really well looked after. I'm going to finish in just a second, but I did want to also talk about the next 2 or 3 weeks. I want to prepare you for what is likely to happen. So at the moment, and I said this to the students last night, at the moment, all of the children will be feeling really excited and really nervous, and we will look after them, and they all feel the same. Some look really confident, but I've said to them, inside, of course they're nervous. This is a big thing. Over the next couple of weeks, they're going to get so excited, they're going to make new friends, but they are going to get very, very tired. They're going to get tired because they're doing everything, most of the students, in their second language. That is exhausting. They're trying to get used to a new routine. All these things are draining. So they will keep very excited to start with. They'll probably end up staying up later than they should because it's exciting to start with. And then when you get to about 2 weeks, that real homesickness starts to kick in. It's when the culture shock starts to really get there. I always compare it to when you go on holiday. Often people go on holiday for maybe 2 weeks. And when you're there, if I'm in a different country, so I come from the UK and I go to a different country, the first thing I think is, oh, lovely, the sun, this food is incredible, the smells, the culture, and you drink it all in and you love it. But by the end of the 2 weeks, you do miss home. You miss the food that you're used to. You miss the weather, even the UK weather. You miss what you know. The holiday is at an end and you are ready to go home. And that is how your children will feel in 2 weeks. But they will get through that. A couple of weeks later, they will get through that. Things will start to click into place. It will start to feel like their second home and they will really enjoy it. So in 2 weeks' time, you might get your child phoning you saying, I'm not sure that I did the right thing, because they miss you and they miss home. Be prepared for that, but we know this is going to happen and we are ready to support them through it. On the boarding team, we've got people from all over the world, lots of different languages that they can go and talk to when they're struggling a little bit. Every year this happens, and every year all of the children are fine. I know this because by the time the children leave, they stay in contact with us. They come back, they visit, they love it here. But that initial journey, of course it's a challenge. The last thing I'm going to say before I pass on to Carolyn is I want to reassure you, I know that your child is the most important thing in the world. There is nothing more precious than your child. And I want to tell you now, I take that very seriously. We will look after your children. We will make sure that they are okay. If you are ever worried at any time, ring, email, let us know. We are there for them and we are there for you. They are going to have an incredible time and I can't wait to see you again and be able to tell you all about the things that they've been up to. I will be available for questions at the end. I have got for you booklets. This is what we give all of the children, so whichever house they're in, and it tells them everything about the rules and what to expect, everything in there. So you can have a copy of this as well, so you can see what they've got. I'll make sure I pass those round at the end. Okay, I'm going to pass you on to Carolyn. Thank you.
What about you, Gary?
Boarding now.
Absolutely, it's hot chocolate.
Trips and things. As Helen said, my role is really the daytime in the school. So this is when the boarding students are joined by those students who live with their parents. We do have a number of day students who come into school. So my team, the housemasters, you're going to meet your respective housemaster shortly. Look after the child 360 degrees. So they really are, if you like, the focal point. So the housemasters will liaise with the teachers to find out how they're doing academically and where they might need some support and some help. And they liaise with the house parents, the huddles, to make sure that everything in boarding is working as it should be as well. And if you are in Minerva House, that's the blue house, where we have our students who are day students, then the housemaster will contact you directly. So we really have got that 360-degree overall care of the child at the start. So my team, one of the things we look at is attendance, because obviously if you look at any research, attendance equals achievement equals success. No substitute for being in a lesson. So we expect all students to have a minimum of 98% attendance. And we're really, really proud to say that that's where we're at. Even during lockdown, when the students were working remotely, they were just so impressive. They were there every day, online, prepared for their lesson. And I think the results that we've got this year explain why our students have done so well. It's because they were in every lesson. So we will monitor attendance very, very carefully. The other side is behaviour, and I've worked in several schools, as has Helen, and although we have behaviour on our job descriptions, I will tell you that if we have a handful of incidents of behaviour, then that is a lot for us. The behaviour here of your sons and daughters, the young people that we have here, is phenomenal. Our biggest problem is to get them to stop working. Now, I know that sounds odd, but we have a saying in English about all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. If you keep working and keep working, mentally you become exhausted and you don't take any information in. Our students, we have to try and educate them when they come here to actually take those breaks. Like Helen was saying, the wind down when they get back from school. Maybe at the weekends getting involved in clubs and events as well. And it's the same in school. We have clubs run by our teachers. We have over 50 clubs, and we promote those very heavily with students. Some of those clubs might be a medic club. So if you are a potential medic, then we direct you into that particular club. We have business clubs. We have English clubs. So if English isn't strong, then we will focus on clubs that help your son or daughter improve their English. Because at the end of the day, they're going to have to do their exams in English. So we have book clubs and language clubs. So we do have a range of academic clubs. We also have a range of sporting clubs. We have a football team, a very successful football team who's been playing against the university colleges, and we've won every match, which means we're now in the second division of the colleges league. But we also have things like basketball, badminton, tennis. We have swimming as well at the Leeds. We go every Friday morning, with a group of students swimming. We've got boxing, that's very popular. That's run by Ram, one of our housemasters. He takes them there. We've even got students going up to one of the most prestigious golf clubs, playing golf. So we really do look at what people want, and if we can't deliver it here, we will look to where we can get those young people into a club. Last year, had a young man came to me and said, Carolyn, I want to go hang gliding, I want to go gliding, I want to do that sort of thing. So we found him a gliding club at the airport here, and he now goes there weekly gliding.
We did check with his parents first.
Yes, we did. And we had to check with head office and everybody else to make sure that we could let him go. But we will do. So please, your son or daughter, do encourage them to get involved in whatever club is something that they want to do. Because it's only going to add, as Helen said, to settling in, getting to know people, making friends, improving English, and also it will go on the UCAS form as well, and it will look good. We have a very active student council who are always telling us how we can make the school even better, and we would encourage anybody who wants to get involved in that to join. We have elections coming up at the end of September, We have wellbeing ambassadors. This is very popular with our medic students, where they are trained in looking after one another and looking after the wider school and promoting well-being across the school. Lots of roles and responsibilities for students, so please encourage them. You might have heard of the Duke of Edinburgh Award Scheme, where they go camping, they do an expedition, they do some volunteering, and then they do some other work as well. Very highly respected by universities. And again, if that's what your son or daughter might be interested in, I'm not so sure whether I could do the camping. I'm sorry, I need all my hairdryer and facilities. I'm not one to camp, but others do. And what a challenge to say that you've done that and you've hiked for 25 miles in the rain and the snow, but it does everybody good. We also do trips and visits. This year we're hoping to go to either Rome or Barcelona in October and Iceland in February during half term. And again, you know, yes, it's good, it's relaxation, it gets them to see the wider world. They might not be able to, you know, get there from the home country as easily. But for some students, you know, if they're interested in history, then what a better place to go and have a look at classical civilization, Rome. If you're a physicist, a scientist, a bit like musical geochemist, Iceland, looking at the plate tectonics and things. So we try and get trips that also have an educational value, as well as something that they can just go and enjoy themselves too. So the pastoral side is very, very busy. We are working constantly with the students. We are a very approachable team. So please, if you need any information, it will be your tutor or your housemaster who you will contact first as a parent. They will be the go-to person. Or if you feel that you need to, as Helen said, contact any of us. But we're here for you, as Helen said, 24/7. Helen and I are also part and lead the safeguarding team as well to make sure that your young people are safe within the school and within the environment. Okay, so one of my other areas of responsibility is SENCO. Students learn in different ways. We all process information at different speeds. Some take longer than others. So if your child has a learning need, then please let us know. We have a team that work with them, and what it will do is it will allow them to get extra time in exams so that the grade that they achieve is what they are capable of doing. So please, if you have any information, do pass that on. Or if we do contact you to say that we are concerned about your son or daughter, then please do come back and talk to us and we can move forward to support your son or daughter. Another key factor is attendance. That's another one of my responsibilities, and we're so proud here at Abbey College. 98% attendance, even when students were working remotely, and that's why our results are so good. There is no substitute for students being in lessons. Attendance equals achievement equals success. And at this point, can I remind you that our term dates are published on our website, and the last day of term is December the 16th. So no flights or students should be going home before this day. If you need to go home, you need to apply with the housemaster for your son or daughter. We don't encourage students to leave before the dates. We teach right up until the 16th of December. One of the big things that we want to do this year, and we started last year, is to really interact and engage with parents. Even though you might be thousands of miles away, we want you to be here in Cambridge with us. And that's one of the things that we've really had excelled at through COVID, the use of online Teams, Zoom conversations. Your son or daughter has a termly meeting with their tutor. It's to discuss progress. It's normally after exams. It's like a parents' evening, and you will be invited during the day to sit in on that interview with your son or daughter. So do look out for emails from the housemaster and the tutor inviting you to these meetings. We're also hoping to have half-termly drop-in meetings online with the housemaster for each particular house, just so that you can touch base, find out what's going on in college, have any questions answered for you. So we're quite excited about these new initiatives, and please do keep in touch with us through these.